Hello guys and welcome to another video. So I'm actually pretty excited for the video we're filming today, and that is because we are ranking every single YA series that BookTube made me read, aka every YA series on my shelves. So without further ado, let's go see what tiers I came up with. Okay, so the S tier, the favorite tier, is I Think About It 24/7. That book changed my life. I went into a huge reading slump after reading it, and all my Google, Pinterest, Tumblr, and Instagram searches were of that fandom because it completely absorbed me. You know, it took over my life, as a good book series should. Then we have Would Reread Once a Year, which is like, I love them, but not as much as the other ones. And then we have A Good Time, but not life-changing. So that's every book that's like, it's fine, it's okay, I would recommend it to you because it's entertaining, but it did not suck me into it, though I did enjoy the ride. And then we have Loved It Then when I read it, but I don't think I would still love it as much. So that goes mainly for the dystopian, basically. And then we have It's Good Trash, high quality trash. And then we have It's Just Trash, and I have a feeling there's gonna be a couple of those. And then we have Should Have DNF'd, because sometimes I'm just too stubborn to DNF a book, so sometimes you just have to call it quits, you know? It's fine. It's completely fine. So without further ado, let's go check out what YA book series BookTube made me read. Okay, so these are all the YA series that I could come up with. You know, I might have missed some just because I wasn't even looking at my shelves while I was doing it. They came from the top of my head. So if we missed some, sad, but you know, oh well. Okay, so the first YA series we have is The 100. Now this one, technically BookTube didn't make me read it, but the series, the show, The 100 did make me read it. And this one, oh my god, what a journey it was. The first two books, I loved them because I loved the main couple, basically because of the show, not because of the books. But then while I was reading the third one, reality came crashing down on me, and I'm like, this is a bad book. This is a bad series. It's really badly written. The plot is horrible. There is no plot, and everything is stupid, and I hate it here. So it's going to go... It deserves to be in Just Trash, but honestly, I should have DNF'd it. I just read the rest of the book. Like, I skimmed it. I remember it specifically. I was sitting in the kitchen, I was like, I hate this book. But I kept reading it because I spent my money and my time, so I had to read it. So next time we have the Twilight series that you may know I read during quarantine because that was one of my lowest moments. So that one I'm just gonna put in Just Trash. It could have gone into Should Have DNF'd, but honestly I was way too invested by the fourth book, and it's entertaining trash, unfortunately, but it is not good trash. And then we have the Harry Potter series. It's gonna go into Loved It Then. I don't think I would still love it as much. Besides my own thoughts and feelings on the author being extremely negative, I honestly didn't think it was life-changing back then, and if I didn't back then I don't think it would change anything to read it now. So I'm not even gonna read it anymore, so I'm okay with just watching the movies. Then we have The Aurora Cycle. And this one is going to go into Would Reread Once a Year because that's basically what I'm doing. Every time the next book comes out, I just reread the trilogy in order to remember what's happening. The third one is coming out this year. I am scared but excited. And then we have Carry On by Rumor Raoul. If you want to check out my reading vlogs, I've done them for all three books in the series. And this one is going to go into... Honestly, this one would go into I Think About It 24/7, but unfortunately the last book, it did go down a peg, so I would reread Once a Year because I am planning on rereading at least Carry On once a year because that book is a masterpiece, I tell you. And then we have Children of Blood and Bone, and that one I feel like goes perfectly in A Good Time, but not life-changing. So I'm reading the third one when it comes out, but it's just, none of them changed my life. They were just good times. So I feel like that's a good place to put it. And then we have The Darkest Artifices, the third series in the Shadowhunter series. And that one is going to go in Come on. And would I reread it once a year? Huh. I don't know. Is this good trash then? Ooh, maybe loved it then because I really did love it, but I don't think I would still love it as much. I don't know. Ooh, maybe a good time but not life-changing. I didn't think I was gonna be so indecisive about it. And then we have Divergent, and that's gonna go into just trash. Because I did read the first one, and then I got so mad because my favorite character was killed off in such a stupid way that I didn't read the rest. But I know what happens, so it goes in just trash. And then we have the Dreamers trilogy, which I've only read the first 2 books because obviously those are the only ones that are out. I do have a reading blog for Mr. Impossible, so go check that out if you want to know more of my in-depth thoughts about it. But basically this goes into ooh, I don't think that deserves to be there. Maybe good trash. It could go into just trash. I know some Maggie Stiefvater fans are like coming for me right now, but I don't think it's very good. Honestly, I just came here to watch Ronan's and Adam's relationship. I'm not having a very good time, so it goes into good trash because at least it's kind of entertaining sometimes. And then we have the Fallen Kingdoms, and that one goes easily into a good time but not life-changing. Honestly, I like them and I have all of them and I had a good time, but I don't think I would ever reread them. And then we have the Fifth Wave, which goes into just trash. I've read the first 2 books, and then I wanted to buy the 3rd one, but I never got around to doing it, so I never read it. So who knows how that series ends. And then we have the Gone series, which goes into either a good time or we reread once a year. A good time, but not life-changing. I honestly love it. I think I have to reread it soon because I'm forgetting everything that happens, but it became a staple for me to read one each summer, and that series is just intense. It's a lot and you don't expect it to be, so I think a lot more people should read it because, man, that series is dark for kind of children. I don't know if I would say it's YA, but I just wanted to put it out here. And then we have the Heroes of Olympus, the only Rick Riordan series I put on here because I think it's the only one that can be considered YA. So that one goes into would reread once a year because that's basically what I do. But honestly, it could go on good trash. What? And then we have, then we have the Illuminate series, which goes up here. Come on. Do I think about it 24/7? No, but I would reread once a year. Do I have any of these series that I think about 24/7? Oh my god, I might have to change some stuff later on. Okay, and then we have the Infernal Devices, everyone's favorite Shadowhunter trilogy that did not stick with me at all. I feel like maybe I should reread the whole series just to see if I would feel any different about it. So this one goes into good trash. No. Does Call Down the Hawk deserve to be in good trash? I don't know. I would put it in a good time but not life-changing because, you know, it's like a Cassandra Clare book. It's at least steamy and entertaining, if not good. And then we have the King of Scars duology, and that goes right up at would reread once a year, if only to read from Soya's perspective and to see Soya's and Nikolai's relationship develop. That is honestly a treat. And then we have another Cassandra Clare book, and that is The Last Hours, which I have been loving, and I would say I would reread it once a year. Would I? That would be very painful, but maybe. I have really been enjoying them, even though they're super long books, but it's honestly one of my favorites. I don't know if I like it more than The Darkest Artifices, so I thought that one was my favorite series, so maybe I should reread all of Cassandra Clare's books someday. Let me know down below if that would be something you would be interested in seeing me do, because I am conflicted. Then we have the Legend trilogy, and that goes straight into good trash. It honestly could go into Loved It Then, but I don't think I would still love it as much now. But I do know I don't love it as much now because I reread it during quarantine. Because, you know, quarantine was one of my lowest moments. So basically, yeah, it's good trash. I mean, I would enjoy it for what it is, which is very nice trash with a bit of like steaminess to it and insta-love to it. You know, that just insta-love trash. Sometimes it's good, you know, for like a little palate cleanser. Next up, we have the Lunar Chronicles, and honestly, this is one that I've wanted to reread for quite some time because I remember enjoying it, but feeling like maybe I should have liked it more than I did. So I feel like this goes into a good time, but not life-changing, and also something that is on my to be reread list. And then we have The Maze Runner, which goes into, where should it go? Just trash or good trash? I'm gonna put it in just trash. I think my favorite book was maybe the prequel. I don't know why, but it was really scary and I enjoyed watching what happened beforehand because I honestly did not understand anything that was going on in The Maze Runner. So at least the prequel kind of like made things more easy for me to understand, if anything. And then we have The Mortal Instruments, which goes directly into good trash, which makes me wonder if Condan the Hawk should be there at all, but for now it is. Maybe, I don't know where to put it. Maybe it's just a nostalgia for the Raven cycle that is making me put the Dreamer trilogy up there, but for now, let it be up there. And then we have the Passenger duology, which I'm gonna put right in should have DNF'd because that's what I did. I did not love the first book and then I didn't finish the second book. So I'm sorry, Alexandra Bracken, it just wasn't for me. And then we have the Raven cycle, which goes into a good time, but not life-changing. Honestly, there should be a tier between that and would reread once a year because that's where this one would go. I do love the characters. I do love some of the most iconic moments. And honestly, I am planning on reading it sometime in the future, so I don't know. And then we have Rebel of the Sands, which goes into loved it, but I don't think I would still love it as much, which is also a reason that I'm also planning on rereading this one sometime in the future. I say this about every series, and I probably won't reread any of them, so that's fun. And then we have the Renegades trilogy, which goes into a good time, but not life-changing, which is pretty standard, apparently. And also, surprisingly, I also have been thinking about rereading that one. What a surprise. And then we have Scythe. Can you guess where that one would go? You're right, a good time, but not life-changing. I am predictable. Ooh. And then we have the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and this one goes into good trash. Good trash because now I love the show, so it has to go into good trash instead of just trash. And then we have, finally, I was wondering when this one was gonna come up, Let's Go Six of Crows duology. You have the place of honor at, I think about it 24/7 because honestly, between my friends sending me memes every single day about the crows and me just thinking about them 24/7, they're always in my head. So that's where they deserve to be. And then we have the Darkest Minds series, which goes into loved it then, but I don't think I would love it as much now, but I feel like I would still love it and I still hold so much love for the story and especially the characters. Liam, MVP, Chubbs, oh my god, I love Chubbs so much. So yeah, I think I would love them more than the other series on that tier. And then we have Catching Fire, which goes into, maybe would reread once a year because honestly, it's so good. I don't feel the need because I already know the story front and back, but it's very good, so it deserves to be there. And then we have To All the Boys I've Loved Before, which honestly I feel like would go in loved it, but I don't think I would still love it as much. I think it would still be very enjoyable, but I have the movies, which is like a horrible thing to say as a reader. But I feel like besides the first book, the other two are okay, but I like their relationship best in the first book, so I don't need to ruin it by reading the other two books and having a lot more conflict, you know? And then one that I thought about the other day but did not include is The Selection. So The Selection goes straight into just trash or should have DNF'd because honestly it really is just trash. On the other hand, if they do finally end up having a show for it, like a TV adaptation, I am definitely going to watch it. So, am I a hypocrite? Maybe. So that's it. That was me ranking every single YA series on my shelf because BookTube made me read them. Please let me know down in the comments below what series BookTube made you read, and please leave a like if you liked this video and click subscribe if you haven't already. Click that bell button to get notifications every time I post a video. I post videos very frequently on this channel, so I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye!